Good afternoon, people. Another quick video. Today I want to talk about a very sensitive topic. Has the UK become a racist country? But before I get into it, share, comment, like and subscribe. It really helps with the growth of my channel. Has the UK become a racist country? In today's climate, if you're a person of colour or an immigrant, it probably feels like the weight of the country's problems is being unfairly placed on your shoulders. The indigenous population has been fed a narrative that everything wrong with the UK, from strained public services to economic struggles, is the fault of the immigrants and people of colour. And sadly, it's working. The toxic rhetoric that has fueled the rise of far-right groups, amplified by mainstream media outlets like GB News, newspapers like The Guardian and the Daily Mail, and politicians like Robert Jenrick, who peddle divisive and racist propaganda. Let's be clear. I can understand why some people feel like second-class citizens in their own country. But directing your frustrations at immigrants and people of colour is misguided. The real culprits are successive governments that have sold out the citizens for decades. They've complained about too much immigration for years while doing nothing to address the root causes, and then convinced the public to vote for Brexit, promising to take back control. Instead, immigration has skyrocketed since leaving the EU, leaving many feeling betrayed. We're living in an increasingly polarised society where some would have you believe that removing immigrants and people of colour would magically transform the UK into a crime-free, prosperous utopia. But that's a dangerous fantasy. The truth is, the challenges we face are systematic, rooted in inequality, underinvestment and political failures. Blaming marginalised groups only distracts from holding those in power accountable and building a fairer society for everyone. Back in the day, when you might have been able to get a doctor's appointment the next day, get seen quickly at the hospital, or even secure a council flat without having to wait years, what were the actual living standards like? The challenges we face today aren't the fault of immigrants or people of colour. It's the politicians who set the rules. Decades of underinvestment and an open border policy have played a role in shaping the current situation. Yet even in the past, the rich still lorded it over the poor, and many people struggled to make ends meet. Just like today, crime was rampant in the poorer communities, just like today. But the way some people talk, you'd think the UK would be crime-free and prosperous for everyone if immigrants and people of colour weren't here. But history tells a different story, and it's a tale as old as time. It's rich white men convincing poor white people that immigrants and people of colour are to blame for their struggles. And let's be clear, it's complete nonsense. Yet many people still buy into this narrative, despite it being a distraction from the real issues. Yes, There are some immigrants who exploit the system with bogus claims, but let's not pretend this is unique to any one group. Fraud and opportunism exist in every community. The immigration crisis isn't just a UK problem, it's a global issue, putting immense strain on society. But here's the kicker, it's all by design. The system is rigged to keep us divided and distracted while those in power continue to profit. There's no denying that the fabric of some communities across the country has changed dramatically over the past few decades. But the majority of immigrants are hard-working individuals who've come here to build a better life for themselves and their families. The real problem isn't immigration, it's the systematic inequality and manipulation that keeps us fighting amongst ourselves instead of holding the powerful accountable. For instance, when a crime is posted online, whether it's murder, sexual assault, domestic violence, shoplifting, or any other wrongdoing, the comment section tells a sad story. Many people aren't even focused on the crime itself or the victims. Instead, they're obsessed with one question. Who did it? Was the perpetrator black? Was he Muslim? Was he a white Christian? This is where we've ended up, reducing complex issues to divisive identity-based arguments. Crime in all forms isn't exclusive to any one demographic, yet we've been conditioned to view it through a lens of race, religion and ethnicity. This hostility only plays into the hands of those in power. Just take the riots last summer. People were handed long custodial sentences for minor offences. All the while, the real issues went unaddressed. Can we afford to go down that road again? Like it or not, we have to learn to tolerate each other, because the alternative is endless division. And things aren't going to magically improve. The immigrants already here, they ain't going anywhere. No matter how much politicians on the right talk about mass deportations and the like. It's all empty rhetoric designed to give you false hope and distract from the real bigger picture. And in reality, open borders across Europe have long been the end goal, and this polarisation of people is all part of the plan. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Share, comment, like and subscribe. And until the next one, out of here.